Are we live?
We're live.
We're broadcasting from Las Vegas.
We're doing it.
We're actually broadcasting now on, well, sort of on the grounds of CES 2016. You know, for the past couple of days, we've been broadcasting inside of a TV studio talking about cars, specifically car audio. Today, we decided to get out, get some sunshine, and drive a new car. Adam, come on in. Let's show the nice folks this new car. This is the 2017 Chevrolet Bolt. Not to be confused with, Adam, let's show them that car, a 2016 Chevrolet Volt, which we're going to be working on the full episode very soon for you guys, so there will be a full first drive review of that car coming up. But today, back to the business of the BOLT. So here's the thing about this car. I'm a big fan of the Volt. I am a big fan of what Bob Lutz and General Motors kind of did with the Volt. The Bolt, I think, is important for no other reason than it is not $90,000 and it will have a range of over 200 miles. So the reality is, this is the first car. Maybe we should go over this way because the wind might be blowing on that mic. Hopefully everybody can hear me. People that are watching this, let me know if you can hear us okay and make sure the wind is not in the way. Anyway, I think this is going to be a huge game changer in the EV world, because it is going to be $37,500 and it's going to have over 200 miles of range. Now, General Motors, they're not telling us exactly what that range is going to be, but they just said over 200. It's kind of like the old Hellcat trick. Somewhere over 650 horsepower, and they came out with 707. So don't be surprised if this actually does more like 250, 260. I think 300 might be pushing it. But the reality is, think of where the yardstick is. Tesla's $90,000. They're somewhere between 250 and 300. And the reality is, Elon Musk and the folks over there, in a very bad economy, when the economy fell off a cliff, sold $90,000 cars like they were going out of style, like there was no recession. So if you can do that for $90,000, imagine the effect here. Now, this is just me rattling off as a New Yorker that pontificates about the markets. Now let's talk about the car. Come on. So, if I'm giving you kind of some size, so you guys really can't see the actual size of the vehicle, but this is a B segment car. So think of this as like the Spark, Yaris, that kind of size car. Very small, but at the end of the day, take a look at this. There actually is some storage in here. Adam, why don't you punch in, especially on the back seat area here? Because look, you can actually sit. It's a totally flat floor. The batteries are flat in this thing. So you can actually put 5 people in this little car, which I think is pretty interesting. Oh, and notice this. It's got a plastic cover to the back seat. Now, before I go too much on this, take a look at this thing here. They've got all this covering over the fit and finish. So what they're showing here is not so much the final fit and finish. So we're not going to talk about the build quality, but this is the general design shape, and they're still sorting out these pieces. So this is a very early prototype vehicle, where back here, this is probably going to be a design. My guess is they're going to put different texture. We have a question that's come in.
So how would you compare this to the size of the Spark EV?
The Spark EV? I would say this is a little bit bigger.
A little bit bigger, I would agree, yeah.
Definitely a little bit bigger. Oh, just as an aside here, guys, I'm actually going to take the camera for a bit. The cameraman today is a benefit. We have a new cameraman today. This is Adam.
Hello, Periscope.
Hello, Adam. So Adam, he's a hipster. Look at his shoes.
Look at those.
Okay.
Argentinian.
And actually, they are Argentinian.
They're Argentinian.
Look at this guy. This guy is so cool. He's too cool to be a cameraman.
That's fair.
But the reason why he is interesting, other than those shoes. Oh, and he was wearing red pants the other day.
Oh, they were fantastic. And the man bun.
Oh, actually, you have a question. What are those? What shoes are those?
They are...
Let's find out. We don't need to take your shoe off. We don't want to see it.
It's called the Summer.
The Summer.
Apparently. And that's all I got for you.
Okay, so shoes and cars.
Oh, saludos.
Oh, saludos. Okay,
I don't know.
Put the shoe back.
I don't know.
Yes, our friend here.
That was uncomfortable.
Poop. Edward says that's a joke. Anyway, back to what we were saying here. This is Adam, and Adam is a car guy. Adam has a lifestyle blog called
Factory24. Check us out.
How can they find you?
Factory24.com. All of our Instagram and Facebook handles and everything is just /Factory24 at Factory24. Check us out. Men's lifestyle. We do some cool stuff. I happen to own a small fleet of cars that is somewhat interesting. I think you'll like what you find.
So stay tuned toward the end of this episode, and we will go through Adam's cars. Adam is a neighbor of mine in Venice.
Yes, we are.
So he has 4 cars, 1 garage, and no driveway. So this is the
Correct.
problem. But they are all good cars, except for
Rotation.
one. They're all good cars, but we will talk about them at the end. Let's get back to the Bolt. Okay, so let's go back to this back seat thing here. So take a look here. They put this like plastic cover here, and the idea is it thins down the actual seat, so it makes the seat slimmer, thus there's more room for knee room. Now, I don't know if you guys have been flying airplanes as of late. Like, I am a Star Alliance, United Airlines, I still call it Continental Airlines guy, and sadly they're changing the seats on all those planes. Now the logic is they're putting this kind of back on the seats to have more room, but the seats, it's like a torture chamber. They're so uncomfortable. Let's try and see if this is comfortable.
How is it?
It's okay. I mean, it actually has some lateral support on the upper body, but none here. And I think it goes up, it goes down. You have a question?
So this is a pure EV, correct?
This is a pure EV, so this is not the Volt, not to be confused with the Volt. The Volt has a gas generator. It can operate as a pure EV, but it is a totally different approach here. There is no gas generator, not even offered in this car. So it's not like, you know, the BMW i3. The BMW i3, you can get it completely as an electric, but you can also like get an optional generator engine to make it into a Volt. Who answered that? Who asked that question?
Oh, I didn't even look at the username. I'm a bad cameraman.
It's a horrible camera.
I know.
Yeah, apparently without shoes too. So if you look, you know, how many of you guys saw the Nissan Murano episode and the Nissan Maxima episode? Look at this design trick. I mean, it's like showing up on every car nowadays, this floating roofline thing. It's on the Lexus, it's on a bunch of Nissans, and now it's on this Chevrolet Bolt. You know, do you guys like this? Let me know if you like this thing or not. And actually, not just tell me, and we want the answer now, don't hit us later on. Do you guys like the floating roofline? Do you think it adds to this car? Me personally?
No.
I think,
From Robert Scott Miller, it's okay. From Poop 1982.
Yeah, so no one likes it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not a fan either. If it were me,
No from Oliver.
Glass. Like, I would have actually had more view around the car. I would want to have some more outward visibility. I think this blocks outward visibility. And frankly, today, it doesn't cost a lot of money to be able to put the glass here, because you can build the structure in at this point. The way we've done a bunch of factory episodes, the way they can manufacture or stamp out the pieces for structure, meaning crash worthiness, you could still have glass here and make it just as strong as having this as a metal C-pillar. Anyway, let's go around the other side. Any questions before we get back in the car?
None so far.
Okay. So look at the front here. This is Chevy. I gotta take my hat off to the folks at design at Chevy. They are putting a very good familial look to all their cars. Like, I think we saw it in some of the early cars, like the new Volt, the 2016 Volt, but I think the biggest step forward is in that Chevrolet Malibu. That, it not only is it a family look, but it looks good. And here they've kind of grafted the same look on a smaller car, which is very hard. You and I spent a lot of time talking about this. You can't just take a design from like a big car, like an S-Class, and put it on a small car. Like, notice the CLA, it doesn't have really the same look as an S-Class. Yes, it's got some character lines, but it's a very different look because the proportions of a CLA can't support the design of the length of an S-Class. Get it? Here, you got the same problem. Like, look at the Volt over there. That's a gargantuan car compared to this. So to put the proportions of that onto this is near impossible, because you basically have no overhang here and you have zero overhang there. Okay, and obviously here's the door thing here, where you can do the charge. It does not have a CHAdeMO charger. So this is just the regular up to level 2 here. Now, the folks at Chevy will not let me open up the hood, because it's a pre-production thing. So we're going to do a full first drive review anyway when the car comes out in a couple of months, but this is kind of a sneak peek drive. But we can see what's going on back here. It's actually quite a bit of storage. Gotta be honest, this is my first time really looking back here. This is kind of amazing. Wow. Adam, punch into here and show them this. So look at this. There is not a shit ton of batteries here. It's obviously laid out more over the length of the vehicle as opposed to concentrated in one area, and that actually gives you storage. I gotta tell you guys, this is very early access. Like, we just turned up, we chatted with our folks here at Shannon, who you saw, if you guys have been watching the show for 6 years, Shad was on episode number 3. He's like the EV specialist at General Motors, so he's the one that gave us that hydrogen Equinox like in 2009. So he's been doing this for many, many years. So we came in, we chatted with Shad, and then we came and just saw the car. This is not really even my first time really looking at it. And I gotta tell you, $37,500, full EV, 200 miles range. Excuse my French here, but a complete effing game changer. Anyway, I think we should drive it. What do you guys think? Think we should drive it? You guys are very quiet today. Do you want to drive it or not? If you don't say anything, we're not driving the damn car. Yes or no? These guys know.
Do it from Cody Joe.
Cody.
Good enough. Good enough for me.
Yeah, good enough. Yeah. We have no shame, me and Adam. Look at the shoes. Okay. So let's get this thing. I got to tell you, a lot of the switchgear is like typical GM switchgear as of late, which is to say very good. Like the build quality of the switchgear stuff is actually.
We have a request from Robert Scott Miller to do some reverse donuts.
Let's see. You know what? We'll tell Shad to go run and get us some real donuts, and then we'll do some reverse donuts. Thank you, Robert Scott Miller. Let's see. Hold shifter. We're in park. Hold shifter button. Oh, here it is. Oh, the back is open. Hold on a second. Let me go take care of that. Sorry. Just so excited to drive it.
While he's gone, let's take a look at the dash. So that is your display.
Okay. I think that's closed now. Unique graphic on the dash. I mean, I think it's nice. But I think we need to like put a pin in that, come back to it, because I could see the graphics, all this kind of stuff changing. I will say that this is too bright. I could see this not doing well from day to day. Oh, and we got to start this. Okay, who's ready? Ready? Adam?
We ready, guys? I'm ready.
Okay. Hopefully we don't kill Adam. Well, if we kill Adam, who wants his shoes? Okay, so we're going to go around Electric Avenue here. Oh, we got a guy from Chevy. What's going on, sir?
You guys know about your drive? This app?
Yep,
here?
already got that going.
Awesome.
You're the
Enjoy
man.
the drive.
Thank you.
Thanks, man.
The folks from Chevy. Hold it, Zach.
Electric Avenue.
Here we are on Electric Avenue. Let's give it some oppo here. Actually, that's got a little torque there, doesn't it?
That had some speed.
Yeah. It's going to be a little shaky for Adam.
I'm trying, guys.
Yeah. Sorry about the shaky video. This isn't our normal production. We wanted to get you behind the wheel of this thing. Wow.
That was wheel spin.
Did you hear that?
That was wheel spin.
That was wheel spin in an EV in Vegas. Not on the strip, but close to the strip. Okay, ready? Brakes. Wow. I gotta tell you, I don't feel a hell of a lot of like lean. Granted, we're not going ridiculously fast here, but notice that the center of gravity seems kind of low. I don't know if you can feel it up there, Adam.
Yeah, it's planted.
It seems planted.
And
I mean,
smooth.
It's not a Corvette. It doesn't have really low center of gravity, but you would think with all the batteries and shit, it would just be too much. That's good. I mean, again, a lot of this is going to be tuned. This is probably 5, 10, 20 revisions from final. And even then, with cars like this, EVs, there's so much they can change, because think about it, it's a computer. So you can adjust the tuning on the fly and download. Meaning, GM adjusts the tuning and then sends you an update. Should we try it with the AC on? Because it's getting a little warm in here.
Absolutely.
So let's do the, see if that works.
So far, obviously very silent. Very smooth.
I'm not, but I gotta tell you, I know this isn't the build quality thing, but I would love to keep this button in the production car.
Oh,
Don't you think?
Absolutely.
You bring your dates out and say, you know, if thing doesn't go well, there's the ejector seat. Sorry, sweetie. It's been real, it's been nice, but it had been real nice. Okay, let's go around this thing and scare Shad a little bit. I gotta tell you, this thing is downright fun to drive. Would you rock this in Venice? Other than to pick up girls, because you would pick up girls in Venice.
With an interesting paint job.
that brings up a good point.
So, real quick, once again from Robert Scott Miller.
Yeah.
How tall are you?
I'm 6 foot.
Okay, so he's asking how much room is there for a 6-foot guy? We'll say front and back.
Now let me ask you a question, Adam. The seat the way we're sitting right now.
So this is a Bolt that we're in right now.
Is that how you would normally sit? Is that comfortable for you?
My back is upright, but as far as leg room,
that's good.
I'm very kosher. Got plenty of room here for my very fancy shoes.
Open up. Everyone say hello to Shad. That's Shad.
We've been
busted. He's the big EV rock star, General Motors. Say hello to everybody, Shad.
Hello, everybody. I'm out here because I'm hearing tires squealing.
Okay, so we were lying to the audience that the tires were really squealing.
Oh, they were. That's why I'm here.
So you're saying we got in trouble.
Enough said?
Okay. Yeah.
Thanks, guys.
So you see how nice Shad can be? Oh, wait. Come here, Shad.
Yeah.
Tell these fine folks what you used to do before General Motors.
Racing?
Yes.
Yeah, so I used to be a off-road racer for Nissan.
Yeah.
Was part of their off-road truck program. Baja, out here in Nevada desert, in Southern California.
So
I miss it.
How does an off-road racer go to EVs?
I mean, the ultimate performance is EV technology.
Okay.
I mean, you don't get quicker, you don't get faster, you don't get more efficient.
Oh, he wants to know, Poop, who is a Cadillac aficionado. He's a good fan of ours. He watches all of our Cadillac episodes, and I think he has an unnatural love for Dave Leone.
Okay.
He has a question. Is this going to get the same batteries as the Volt?
No, I think the question is actually, is the Volt going to get this battery?
Oh, I'm sorry.
Well, the battery is designed for this particular platform, so it's, as you just saw, it handles very well because it fits perfectly in this car. It uses the same chemistry and a lot of the technology from Volt is in here.
So you know what we'll do when we get out of the car, which we're not doing yet, you and I will go in there with the fine folks, and you'll show us those battery displays.
Let's do it.
Okay, because he's got all sorts of naked parts in there, guys. And not his, so just to be clear.
To be clear.
Okay,
all right.
We're going to go do some more tire squeal.
Sorry, Shad.
Okay, guys.
Not that sorry, but...
I tried.
Okay, you guys got me in trouble. Thanks a lot. Okay, tire squeal. Check. I gotta tell you, I would rock this as a daily. For me, it would have to have a sunroof. I know that's against the rules in electric world. It'd have to have a sunroof, but I think Adam brought up a very good point, and this is a question I want to pose to you guys. Do you think a car like this needs to stand out, look really different, or does it need some like funky paint job to kind of say to the world, hey, look at me, I'm driving a full electric car? In 2016, do we still need the Prius look to make these cars stand out? And that is a question to the audience. Oh!
No, it's a commuter?
No, it's a commuter.
Let's see what else we got.
While we're,
EV should look normal.
EV should, so it should look normal.
Should look normal.
See, I think it should look normal. What else?
I think there's something to be said for having an electric car that lets everyone know. I don't know. Dailies are supposed to be boring from Shocker. Yeah, I mean, it really is either way.
I disagree with that. I think dailies don't need to be boring. I daily a ridiculously unpractical car. I'm going to go to Costco with a car with 2 seats and a roof that folds off and has built in a shed in England. And that daily is fine. Anyway, let's keep this conversation going, but I just noticed something. Look at the mirror. It's not a mirror. It's a screen. Look at that. It keeps on going on and off. Obviously, there's a glitch in there, but look at that. Isn't that awesome?
So that is not what you're seeing, a mirror. It is actually a live screen.
It is a rear view
display.
Camera.
I'm sorry.
A display, yeah. That's pretty cool. It gives you a much wider field of view. That I like. I would love to see that in more cars.
So Shad was walking me through that, and the thinking there is, if this is used as an Uber or Lyft or what have you, you can still see what's behind you if you have 2 passengers, or if it's loaded up with luggage, or whatever is in the back seat, you can still see behind you. So it's a camera. And if you do want to talk to your passenger or friend or client, you simply do the same switch like any other mirror, and suddenly it's a mirror.
No shit.
And there's George. And now it's back to a screen.
Who's George? That's awesome. Look at that screen mirror.
MotoMan?
Good thing Adam was around today, because I wasn't paying attention. I was actually having a Diet Coke while he got that little speech from Shad. That is a neat touch. And obviously they were thinking about this before they put $500 million into Lyft.
Fair.
So, you know what? That's, friends, in the technology world, that's called synergy. See that? Synergy. So what's going on here? We see anything? So all this, we got the heated seats. Let's go look at the energy, flow, and go back here, information. Oh, you can page through. Oh, look at all this stuff. Consumption history, energy use score. So this I'm not a huge fan of this like game of the gaming of scoring your efficiency. I mean, I can see why they do it, but I probably wouldn't pay attention. Energy detail, that's cool to know. Like right now we got the air conditioning on, we got the compressor going, and it's pulling 30% out. That's where the energy is going. 30% of the energy is going to the compressor.
How do you think this car would handle on rough Michigan roads?
You know what?
In winter.
That's a really good point. I would think. Now this is. Let's just talk theories for a minute. Let me look at the camera while I'm doing that. This is just theory. The car, when you have a stiff, strong platform, even with a stiffer suspension, it actually is a better application over broken pavement, railroad crossings, planes of motion changes, because the platform is stiffer. And my guess in driving this car, just for the little bit that we have, and granted this has a little bit of broken pavement, but it's a parking lot, I would think this has a stronger platform, but I think we need to put a pin in this discussion, and that's probably a really good thing we should do, just an episode where we get the car and we just go find crappy roads and see how it does. I like that. Very good story idea. Does that answer your question? Who was that?
That help?
Yeah.
I believe it was Eric Miller again.
Okay. Let's see the flow here. Let's go back to the energy thing. There we go. Oh, before that, look at this. There was energy settings over here. Let's see what we can change.
Sport?
Hilltop Reserve. Oh, where's the sport setting?
I'm hoping to find one.
There is none. Cord theft alert. Nice touch. Radio power down. Okay, that's interesting. Location-based charging. That's back in my technology days. That's what I did, was location-based services. What's this? Hilltop Reserve. We got to find out what that Hilltop Reserve is. That's a pretty interesting idea. So let's go back to this energy and see what the flow is. So let's do a lap with just this and see what happens. Oh, pulling. Oh, I'm on the brake right now. Notice it's not doing regen.
Oh, it just started?
Yeah. So let's hit the brake on here. Brake is on, no regen, no regen, no regen.
It takes a minute.
Yeah, it's a little bit delayed. That's interesting. Again, this is the kind of stuff that can be detailed probably and changed. With question?
Where is this being manufactured from Robert Miller?
That's a good question. You know, let's we should go park the car or maybe go ask Shad, find out. Anything else you guys want to see while we're driving the car? Before we park the car, because we've actually taken this car from Shad for a long time. Any other questions while we're driving?
Anything else, guys?
Because we're gonna go in. We got some cool displays we're gonna show you before we wrap up here. Let's see what we got. It's a little warm in here, isn't it? Oh, there is a sport button.
No.
Look at that. Okay, we got to do a lap in sport. Is sport on? Sport mode off. Okay, so see what happens. I turn the sport mode on. Sport mode off. It cycles here on the actual gauge. So now we're in sport mode. Let's see how it goes. We already got in trouble. Oh, you know what? The throttle is so much more responsive. I don't really feel a difference in the suspension, but the throttle is so much more responsive. Do you feel a difference in the suspension?
I don't feel anything different in the suspension so far.
Yeah. Okay. Definitely more responsive.
While we're in the car, is there any fun storage compartments or, I guess I'll say, knickknacks that we see?
Is that a question?
That is a question from Eric Scott Miller.
There is no storage here. Okay. There's storage down here. There's charging here. Oh, look at this. There's a little storage here, but I don't know what that is. Maybe that's where you put your phone in here. And then there you can put your phone here. My guess is this is a Qi wireless charging system here, because you can kind of see where this is the same kind of, like, if you look at the Cadillac and some of the other Chevys that have Qi systems in it, it's the same kind of pocket. And then there's storage here. And granted, this kind of plastic This is all going to change. It's going to have more texture. This kind of plastic has no texture, which tells me very, very early pre-production prototype. So there's storage there, and then I'm assuming, yeah, we can't get to it because they got it covered, but the storage in the doors. I can feel a cup holder over here.
How does the shifter feel?
You know what? Have you guys driven a recent BMW, like the 3 Series or the 7 Series? Or even like an Audi A8 or something like that? It's basically an electronic shifter, so it could be really anywhere. I'm very happy they put it in the center console because I don't like the shifters up here. But it feels just like something out of like a BMW or an Audi. Oh, you know what? And there's a low mode we didn't get to either. Now we're in the low mode. Well, it kind of pushes you back a little bit more. But the low mode obviously is much more regen. Can you feel that, Adam? There's much more regen there. Like okay, here I'm accelerating, foot off the gas, and the car is stopping itself. That's heavy.
It feels
regen.
like a drag.
Yeah, heavy regen there. Let's try it here again. Halfway with my foot on the gas, or electric, and then now it's coming almost to a stop. Okay. Wow. Let's go back to regular mode. So you know what? The sport mode really a difference. Granted, I'm sure it'll burn more energy, but the reality is it does give you much better responsiveness. Okay, so we're going to go inside with Shad. We're going to look at some of those cool displays. Before we go in there, any questions in the car? Anything else you want to see in the car?
Robert Scott Miller, how's the sound system?
We could try.
I'm not sure if it's even production.
I mean, to be very honest with you, I don't think it would be fair to gauge this, because what we're focusing on is the propulsion system and the responsiveness of the throttle and some of the driving dynamics. All this stuff could change. Like, I think this design is locked, but like the textures are not. The graphics here are probably not locked either. So, any other questions before we get out of the car?
From Poop is this design going to replace the ELR? I'm not sure what he means there.
The ELR Cadillac.
Yes, but what does design mean?
Meaning you mean the actual technology or the design of the car, Poop? Which one? Oh, Poop, I'm coming to Florida, by the way, so we need to talk about that. DM me on Twitter. We got to talk about Florida. You know what? Let's go outside and clarify the question, Poop. Is it the technology that's going to go in the ELR, or is it this design that's going to go, meaning the outside look of the car?
Is it going to replace the ELR?
The technology. Which one? Poop, let us know, and we could ask Shad, because he's the man who would definitely know. Okay, so video.
Yeah, it's not good.
Here you go, guys. I am calling someone Poop because that is his username. Poop 1982. 2, I think? 83? Somewhere in there. Here's the rear. So obviously those rear lights are pre-production. Is the technology going to replace the ELR?
Chad, we have a technical question for you from the Cadillac customer.
Uh-oh.
Okay? Still live. Okay. Is this technology going to make its way to the ELR or a Cadillac?
Yes, I think it's already happened. So the battery technology that's in ELR,
yeah,
and even the CT6 plug-in hybrid,
yeah,
it's all the same technology spread across the different brands, the electrified brands. So the chemistry that's in ELR,
yeah,
Volt, CT6 is also being used
you think
in Volt EV.
Now that's the battery, but what about the propulsion system of this car?
The electric drive units,
yeah,
components are. I mean, they're obviously designed and engineered.
We have a question.
And the same is the 200-mile charge going to the ELR.
Ah. I don't make enough money to make product announcements like that. I mean, it's safe to say you can see where we're going.
Yeah.
When we do a car like this, the goal was two things. The holy grail is the range and the price. More than 200 miles for $30,000 after incentives. That's what this is about, and that's why it makes sense to do Chevy.
Okay. You had a question?
No.
Let's go inside. I want you to talk about, come on inside, let's go see some of the battery stuff now. Well, it's a good point to bring it in. We've got Shad here, and he's going to talk to us about the batteries. They were very kind to bring not just the battery from that, but the battery from the old Volt to see the difference. Come on in. Okay. Welcome to Chevy HQ at CES 2016. We have all sorts of toys, some food we're going to have later after this. Come on in, Adam. Okay, so walk us through what all this is, Shaq, because you make more than me, so you would know more of this.
Well, this is the battery from the Volt. So this basically
Current Volt?
The current Volt. So this basically houses the cells that power the car.
Bunch of pull, punch in and show it.
The thing about this, what makes our battery stand out from our competitors, is the thermal management system. So the battery loves to be about 68 to 72 degrees. That's the sweet spot.
Yeah.
So the idea is to keep the battery at that temperature, and that will maximize the range which you charge it.
So whether you're in Minnesota or Miami.
Right. Yeah. So there's a liquid cooling system and heating system that runs through there to keep it right at that sweet spot.
Yeah. Okay. And what do we got over here? I think this is probably the more interesting piece, the poop, and all the guys want to see.
Yeah. So this is an exploded version of what's inside the battery case.
Okay.
So these are the cells right here. You can see they're very flat and sort of in bulk, and that's what stores the energy.
That's it.
That's it.
How many of these
there
are
are
in
linear? There are linear ones lined up. The temperature is controlled by these fins here. You see, like I said, it
Oh,
heats
this is
it.
like when you have a fancy house. You can get that put on the floor of your house, and like it's heated. So like if you walk without shoes on, you feel the heat through like wood floor, even carpet.
Exactly.
It's pretty awesome.
Exactly.
Is that the same thing?
Pretty much, yeah. That's. I mean, at the end, it is.
You could say no, MotoMan, you're completely wrong.
The idea is very similar.
Chad's known me for many years, so he can tell me I'm full of shit. We have a question. For Chad.
From Robert Scott Miller, I believe, for Chad. Time to full charge. We'll say typical time to a full charge.
For the Volt?
Well, both.
For Bolt. Okay, so Bolt, it's anywhere. Well, we're not there yet. We haven't made that announcement. So stay tuned.
Almost.
Stay tuned for
We're
Detroit.
that close to getting it. But you got, so what I saw there was level 1 and level 2 charge.
Correct.
I didn't see a Chadamo thing.
To be continued.
Determined.
Yeah.
Okay, so I said no Chadamo, but it sounds like from looking at the tea leaves or your face correctly, there could be Chadamo.
Well, when you get to that sort of range,
Yeah.
you might want to get a splash every now and again to just keep going, a fast charge.
Yeah,
So
makes sense. It's good.
yeah, it's available now on the Spark TV.
Okay.
So you can get 80% charge in about 20 minutes.
Offhand, do you know the wheelbase difference between this and the Spark EV?
I do not, off the top of my
You have to
head.
get back
This
to
is
this.
yeah, I will. This is actually this is longer
Bigger,
for sure.
It's definitely longer.
Yeah.
But it seems like you're talking this beast head of the car. That's what I would say.
Right.
Yeah.
Yep.
And then show us what this is, because this is pretty cool, the difference here.
Yeah, so basically two exploded versions. This is the current Gen 2 Volt battery,
Yeah.
and this is what the Gen 1 was like. So the idea here is to obviously show you visually the size reduction. That is the key factor in bringing the cost of these cars down is the battery technology. So we've done it. We've made it more efficient, smaller, and more energy. This, the EPA gave us 38 miles of range estimated. This gets 53. Smaller battery, cheaper, but more range.
And just for the avoidance of doubt, this is out of an old Volt.
Gen
this
1.
is a new Volt.
Gen 2.
But this technology is in the Volt BOLT.
The chemistry,
The
yes.
chemistry is in the BOLT. Also forthcoming Cadillacs.
The ELR, the CT6, and the Malibu Hybrid.
And the okay, cool. Very cool. Will you show us this cutaway here? We want to see this inside of the Volt. We got a naked Volt over here. Can you show us some bits here? Sure.
Chad, where will the Bolt be manufactured?
Bolt.
Bolt,
in
yes.
Kansas City, Missouri.
Oh, so in the U.S.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Okay. And is the battery made in the U.S. or is that Korea?
So the cells come from LGE, and then we assemble them in our battery lab at Browns Township, Michigan.
Let me ask you a kind of a forward-thinking question. So Nissan put a lot of money into building 2 factories just for batteries, so they can have supply. Do you see GM doing that?
We've done that.
Yeah.
We have the country's largest battery lab. It already
I'm
exists.
way behind. Manufacturing batteries.
Oh yeah.
Oh, then I'm way behind. Look at me.
Assembling,
I'm saying
yeah.
forward-thinking. Shad's like, you're behind the times. Yeah. Question.
From Paulo Hep. Chad, how does this technology compare to Tesla?
Interesting. Well, it's all about the battery technology and the way that you treat the battery. So, in order to maintain longevity of the battery, it's all about that temperature. So the way that we package it, the way that we keep it cool or warm, depending on the climate you're in, that is what prolongs the life. We have to guarantee the batteries in the Volt for 10 years, 150,000 miles.
It's quite a bit.
It's a lot. Yeah. So in order to do that, we treat it like it's a big chocolate bar and just make sure that it's safe and cool and happy.
That's quite the quote. If I were to have a problem with the battery at some point, as I roll in 149,000 miles after 9 years and 11 months, Do you replace the individual cell or the whole unit?
It's designed so that we could do just that, replace individual cells.
Oh, yeah.
So we can pull out chunks that are giving a problem, if that happens.
So back to here, so like, come on over here, Adam. So you're saying you could, each one of these things you can replace?
Exactly. These come out, and then these are all set in a case that is the unit case you could just pull out too.
That's pretty cool.
So yeah, depending on what you need to do, there's several
Yeah.
ways that you can get in there and yank it out.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
From
Question.
Robert Scott Miller, the same electric motors in the Volt and Bolt then?
No. Different.
How are they different?
So this, because it has the range extender,
Yeah.
it has a completely different traction system that allows us to improve efficiency by, when your battery's dead and using the generator, to couple it so that we're providing torque directly to the electric drive system. The Bolt EV is a pure battery electric, so we don't have to worry about there being any sort of input from the generator.
Got it. And does it change, like, does it change the brushes of the motor or any of that kind of stuff? Like the actual piece that goes in it, moving part of the motor?
Yes, so there are more planetary gear sets in the Bolt than there is in the EV in the BEV.
Okay.
So
Well,
it's a
obviously,
completely
yeah.
different setup.
It's the 3 rings thing.
Yes. Yeah.
We remember that from many years ago.
Oh yeah, we do. Lest we forget.
Should have had more hair back then. What else can we see?
So this basically is to just illustrate how the car is put together. So the battery, it's a big T-shaped battery as we just saw. The top of the T is here under the bench seat, and then it runs down the center. So this is where we package the battery.
Okay.
And it's pretty ideal to help keep the center of gravity low and the weight distribution optimal for this car, because we have the generator up front and the heaviest part of the battery in the back.
So the big selling problem, the last one was the back seat. Can I get in there to demonstrate so they can see
yeah.
this?
Watch your head.
Okay, so normally you wouldn't be this easy to get into a Volt, but I'm going to take advantage of the opportunity here. So I got to basically straddle, the center person has to straddle the console here. So technically, this is sold legally as a 5-passenger car?
Yes, there are 5 seat belts.
So this is the center belt. So I can put my belt on and have my friend, girlfriend, family torture me for 8 hours.
You could.
Driving like this.
Yes.
Let's just, and this is a good representation of what the roof would be.
It's a little low, but
It's a little low, yeah.
we all get the idea.
Yeah, so the idea is if you're 6 foot tall, don't take this position. Call dibs on the front seat. Or call dibs on the back seat. Outboard positions.
But if you have a family with small kids and you need to take that trip with 5 people, it's legal to do.
It's okay.
legal.
Okay, good. Can I ask a question?
Please.
Can you hear me okay? You guys hear us okay? Okay. I gotta have a car with some sort of open roof. I gotta have a sunroof, card, or whatever it is. You ever gonna go somewhere with this car?
So here's the thing. Every bit, nook, and cranny on this car is designed for air.
No, you didn't.
It has to slip through the air seamlessly. I can give you your sunroof,
I want a sunroof.
but then my EPA label's going to get affected.
I don't care about you.
You don't.
I know. I really don't.
We could do it. It'll impact your range because of aerodynamics.
So only if the roof is open.
Well, also it adds weight. That whole mechanism adds weight.
I'll tell you what, I will give you like 9 MPG. Like, yeah, it's not, let's call it a deal. Any questions? Because I think, anything else we need to see here? 'Cause I think we got some more motor stuff over
Yeah,
here.
but let me take you over here first. This is sort of the untold story. So this is the Malibu Hybrid.
Chat, I think before we switch over to the Malibu, really quick,
Yeah.
we had a question a while ago from Poop. This is a weird. Is there anything on the Bolt that you wish they would have included but they haven't?
Good question.
Kind of out there.
Yeah.
On the Bolt or Volt?
On the Bolt,
On the Bolt.
Anything?
Oops,
if my memory is right.
Okay, is there anything on the Bolt that they have not included? Let's see.
I mean, we already know
Yeah,
sunroof.
Sunroof, definitely.
Yeah.
I want one in the Bolt.
Interesting, because that would force me to list out these features, and I can't go there yet.
Design,
It's very smart.
design or feature. There's a little bit of wiggle room.
Okay, design. How about that?
So the car, you look at the car, and it's obviously designed to slip through the wind.
Yeah.
Makes sense. But I like a more sleek and sexy design, so I could have gone with a little bit more of a edgy, beautiful design versus a sensible design.
I gotta tell you, that's honesty. Coming from the guy at General Motors, that's serious honesty. Now, of course, I will speak to Clay Dean about this when I get to
Thank
Detroit
you.
on Monday, and you will be fired.
Yeah, exactly. Thank you for
But that is honestly one feature besides the sunroof you want to see.
The one feature I would want to see, let's see. I'm ready for some autonomous driving. I want to be able to summons the car to come pick me up or to come charge.
Okay.
There are some wireless charging applications out there too that I think if they came from us would help generate some good buzz. Where like these mat systems, where you just pull the car over a mat and start charging.
That's a damn good idea. Question. I had a question actually from in there. What is that range hilltop thing? It's a setting. Range hilltop car.
Hilltop. Is it an acronym, or did it say the word hilltop?
No, it's just a range hilltop or hilltop range limit or something like that.
I'm not sure.
It's a setting. You have to get back to us.
Yeah.
And we'll answer via Twitter.
Okay.
So you want to talk now?
Yeah. So because
go on.
But so this has Voltec technology. So it has battery and electric drive helping it out. So this
But it doesn't drive in EV mode like this car does.
no, it's not a plug-in.
And we're pointing to the Volt.
Right. But it does improve the fuel economy of this car up to 47 miles per gallon.
Real 47.
47.
Would you call this a mild hybrid or full parallel series hybrid?
It's a full hybrid. There's nothing mild about it.
Okay.
Because it jumps up the fuel economy from the gas car substantially for the hybrid system.
And where do you pack the battery?
They're in the back. Here.
Can you guys speak up a little bit, please?
Okay.
No,
Sorry
no,
about that. This is the Periscope thing, so we got to stand a little bit closer to it.
Yeah, it's a much smaller pack because we're not charging it to drive the car exclusively. It just
So it's underneath the seat here?
it just basically helps provide efficiency for the car to get that fuel economy. And I'll show you the battery. We have a blowaway of it over here.
Can you open the trunk?
Yeah.
Oh, so the battery is there.
You have a full size
Why don't you punch in there and show the battery is here, guys. You can kind of see
full-size
the
hybrid, our
charge
full-size sedan
point
here.
there. Meaning a jump point. Yeah. Okay.
A full-size sedan achieving that fuel efficiency without a plug is pretty remarkable. And that is because of what we've learned from the Volt.
What is this weight? In this bird, not rating.
I'll have to look it up and get back to you.
What's the rating?
I do know that it's 300 pounds lighter than other places because of light rating.
We don't know how much regular amount.
I mean, we put it out there. I just don't know off the top of my head.
We're going to go now to the entrance over here. If you guys have more questions for Shad.
Shad, what do you think the odds of us getting a rear-wheel drive EV are?
Ooh, who asked that question?
That was poop again.
See, I like this guy.
Yeah.
Shad, you're going to have to give me some money.
It makes sense.
He lives in Florida. We're going to Florida to drive that Buick. You should buy him dinner.
I love it.
Client dinner. How about that?
I like the idea. As a car guy, I mean, I want rear-wheel drive. But the bottom line is, for efficiency purposes, what EVs are all about right now, front-wheel drive makes sense. Also for colder climates, too. If I do rear-wheel, then I have to do all-wheel.
I don't agree with that.
What about Tesla?
Well, try them in cold climates. I mean, it's, you know.
I would.
Also, that's, you know,
I grew up in New
$120,000
York.
car.
I grew up in New York on 84 Volvo diesels, rear drive.
Yeah.
1980 Buick Electra 225 rear drive in the snow in New York. I mean, that's old school.
Yeah.
It was just fun.
Yeah,
So I want
you're a rear-wheel drive guy.
Absolutely. So I want a rear drive EV with a sunroof. Get it?
With the same numbers, same efficiency numbers.
No, I'll give you the 5 MPG. I'll give you back 5 MPG. So what do we got here?
So this is the battery system and the power electronics for the Malibu hybrid we just saw. This is
That's
behind
underneath
back
that,
seats.
the piece that we just saw in the trunk.
Yes. So these are all bits
Would you
from.
punch in here? We'll see this here.
This is all Volt technology and Spark EV technology and ELR technology taken and applied to the Malibu.
So when you say Bolt technology, it's the actual, the different cells?
The chemistry in the cells, the thermal management system, which again is the key
Yeah.
for this, and the power electronics, the way that we operate and control the battery.
Cool.
Yeah.
And then this is the generator, basically a 4-cylinder engine that goes in Volt.
Yes.
What's 1.5?
1.8. This is the motor for the Malibu wagon.
It's a Malibu.
Yeah.
So it's not the same that's in the Volt.
Correct. Yeah, this is actually connected to a transmission which drives the traction.
Yeah, this is real gears.
Yeah.
Well, that's planetary gear cells.
This is for Malibu.
No, on the Volt, planetary
Yes.
gears. Got it.
Correct.
Where this has real, is it a 6-speed or an 8-speed?
This is a 6-speed.
6-speed, okay. But on the regular Malibu, it's 8.
Correct.
Got it.
Yeah.
Shad, why not use the 2.0T?
We do. We do that. We just you don't use it in the hybrid system. Because for the hybrid system, it's all about making it smaller, lighter, and more efficient. So you pairing this to the electric system, it makes better sense. We get better numbers out of it.
Come on over here, Adam. Let's show them the timing chain here. So even in a very small engine where they normally put a belt in here, there's actually a timing chain. It's a huge reliability thing. Cool. Anything else you have cool we can see here? Oh, we got some fun stuff over here. There's 2 more things which Shad's going to show us. Any other questions you guys have? Because we're going to wrap up here pretty soon because Shad has kind of shown us everything, and I want to have a sandwich.
This is the engine generator for the Volt.
This is the Volt.
So this is what sits up
This
under
is
the hood.
1.8.
Yes. Okay. So this is what powers up when your battery is dead. You don't want to stop the recharge. This fires up, creates more electricity, and keeps you going for as long as you want.
See the design of this piston here? If you guys remember the On the Rack Mean Gene episodes, this Mean Gene showed us back in the day. This is an old Packard technology where they actually dome the piston so it creates more compression, but then they kind of scoop this piece out so there's actually cleaner on the compression stroke, cleaner explosion for the compression stroke. Very cool technology from what, 1930?
Yes.
Yeah.
And we were able to for Gen 2 allow us to use regular gasoline as opposed to premium gasoline, which we had to use in Gen 1.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. And it gives you the same power. It doesn't change
It's
based
more.
on octane?
Yep.
That's cool.
Yep.
So whether I put 87 or depending on where you are in the country, 93, I still get how much horsepower out of this?
This gives you about 120 equivalent.
You know the torque?
I don't. That's an equivalent number.
And then this is the actual planetary gear set that's in the...
It is. So that's what connects to this. This drives the traction gears, or this is the traction gears for the Volt. This is what moves
The
it.
avoidance of doubt, that's not a CVT.
It is not a CVT.
And the avoidance of doubt, what is the difference between CVT and this?
Well, I mean, this is unlike anything else out there because this changes its function while you're driving. So it based on your driving conditions and your speed, it'll either lock itself in and provide torque directly from the motor to the traction wheels, or if you're running on electricity, then it's just a straight shot. But depending on where you are, depending on how fast you are, if you're going uphill, downhill, will determine what clutches open up and exactly how the most efficient way to turn and motor the vehicle is.
Okay, so 2 things. That was a hell of a lot of stuff you just gave us. If you guys have questions on that, ask the question, but we do a second if you have a question that already came in.
So Shad, what is the difference between, I believe this is the 1.8, what's the difference between this and a quote-unquote regular motor in a small Chevy?
Nothing. No, that's the genius about it is we're able to take what we have off the shelf and use it as a generator, basically.
There's another question.
Extending on that same question, what's your personal car?
My personal car, yeah.
Actually, the answer should be what personal cars have you had, and I want to include that one detour you took, which you and I had an argument.
The detour. Oh.
Yeah. This is happening. Yeah.
I forget who asked that question, but they're already my favorite person.
Wow. I rotate through company cars right now, so I'm putting miles on a Chevrolet Equinox.
Okay.
Cars that I've owned 2 Corvettes, which are phenomenal cars.
Yes.
Then there was that brief stint.
Brief in what?
So my idea was I needed to be efficient. I wanted to be
Well,
practical.
hold on a minute. Tell them where you came from. What
The
car did you have
excuses
before
are
the
already
detour?
rolling.
I was in a Corvette.
You were in a Corvette?
2009 Corvette.
Okay.
And we started selling this Buick.
And what Buick?
It was a Buick Regal.
Okay.
I thought it was so cool because it was basically a German car.
It was a German car.
Yeah.
It was built in Germany at that time.
Yeah. And everybody loves it. I mean, it's a great car.
It is a great car.
But the fact that I went from a Corvette to a Buick, I just couldn't say. No.
I told him that one day, but he told me you bought this thing. So then
Then I got rid of the Buick.
you realized the error of your ways, and then what did you buy?
CTS Coupe.
Nice. So he redeemed himself.
Q.
Yes. And then you got another Corvette at some point, right?
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
what year?
The current Stingray.
Current
2014.
Nice.
Yeah.
What color?
It is the gunmetal brand.
And here's the ultimate question. What transmission?
The manual, of course. It's
He has redeemed himself. We love this man.
You don't buy a 450 horsepower without.
See?
Feel it.
This is honesty. He tells you he wants the design changed on his own car, and he has a manual transmission. Any questions for Shad? Because Shad has been wonderful here and giving us all this stuff. Thank you again.
My pleasure.
So, any questions for Shad? Now, if we get questions, can I come and get you to answer them?
Please
put them
do.
out on Twitter or something like that?
You can even hit me up on Twitter.
Oh, you know what? Yeah, you can actually ask him directly. Make sure you tag me because I want to see the answer too.
Yeah, at
What is-
Shad Balch. At
Shad Balch.
SHADBALCH.
Okay, at Shad Balch, SHADBALCH on Twitter, and you will answer their questions.
Absolutely.
Exactly. Okay, so with that, we're going to go back onto the car. We'll come back in a bit.
All right.
Thank you, Shad.
Have fun, guys.
Okay. So I want to leave you guys with a question. This has turned into almost like a whole full episode at this point. A really deep tech dive. Let's come on out, Adam. So here we are. Chevrolet Bolt. We have now driven it. We got in trouble for tire squealing. We got a deep tech dive from Shad. So now I want to leave you guys with a question. And my question is really very simple. I am excited about this. Forget about the way it drives. Forget about the way it looks. All that kind of stuff. I think this is a game changer. I think for $37,500, I know he went on about 30 grand after incentives, but for $37,500 that comes out of your bank account, you get 200 miles of range in a car that you can totally use. And remember, you can put 5 real people in the back of this thing. That, I think, and again, I've used the term game changer too much, but I think this is something for you and I to sit and watch. So my question to you is this: would you daily this thing for $37,500? Would you daily it? And then number 2, don't just tell me would you. Why or why not? And then, are you ready for this one? Where do you live? And I'm specifically looking to find out the climates, because that has a lot to do with it. Anyway, let me know. I can't say comments below because there's really no comment. Actually, you know what? I may put this up on YouTube. So let me know in the comments below or via Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, MotoManTV all one word, MotoManTV all one word. And remember, Shad Balch, SHADBALCH, will answer your questions directly from General Motors. That's an unusual thing that we're giving you the contact directly to ask the questions. Anyway, let us know in the comments below. MotoManTV all one word, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. And with that, I'm going to leave you with 2 things. We are still at CES for 2 more days. I am going back to my other job for Bose. I am doing Periscopes. We've taken over their Periscope channel. So today we're going to go and do how do you build in, we're going to do a deep tech dive of how do you build in high-end audio affordably in a B segment car. And you're going to be amazed how they do it. It's like, I don't want to give it away because I want you to come over and watch that. That's going to be at 6:20 p.m. East Coast time, 3:20 p.m. West Coast time, and you have to go to the Bose Periscope channel, B-O-S-E, B-O-S-E, and I'm sure if you're watching this, if I ended up putting this on YouTube, I'm sure we'll find a place where you could find the replay, we'll put it up somewhere else. And with that, any questions before we sign off from CES 2016? Because Poop, I know you guys have been, and Richard have been great about asking questions. Anyway, with that, I'm going to go get a sandwich. Bish Beta.